Okay.
We're rolling.
Nutrition is about eating right, but eating right does not mean you have to go to the health food store. It does not mean you have to buy a lot of expensive things. It does not even mean you have to go to the supermarket. At our house, we shop when we feel like it, sometimes every week, sometimes every 6 or 7 weeks. The secret is growing your own food. It's cheap and it's easy. And I want to emphasize, it's cheap. We have a garden here in our backyard. This is just a tract house. The garden's perhaps only 25 feet by 15 feet. It's not a big garden by anybody's standards, but look what you can put in it. For instance, right in front of me here, I have rows of bush beans. Now they're hard to see because they're growing up, but we've got beans coming right across here. You can see the little flowers here. And these flowers are going to become little beans. There's the beans already. There they are. Now each one of these beans is going to be about 6 inches long and pretty big around. And there's going to be maybe 15 to 20 beans per bush. And I have about 10 rows of these beans. Total cost, let's see, 69 cents a pack for bean seeds. I bought 2 packages, $1.50. And for $1.50, I'm going to have probably 4 bushels of fresh green beans, organically grown right out of the garden. Tomatoes are easy to grow. You can buy a flat of 6 to 12 tomato plants ready to plant for only about $1. Now, if you wonder where I'm getting these, we're talking local discount stores, local hardware chains, supermarkets, anywhere in the greater Rochester area. Here's a tomato that I didn't even plant. This grew from last year. This grew out of the compost pile. Now, the compost pile wasn't here, but we throw the compost all over the garden, and a tomato happened to grow here. These are Roma tomatoes. These are the Italian sauce tomatoes, and they're a little more elongated, a little more oval-shaped, and they'll eventually be pear-shaped. They don't have a lot of moisture, they don't have a lot of seeds, there's a lot of meat to that hull there, and that makes a good sauce. Now this tomato I didn't even pay for. This cost me nothing. I'm going to get pounds and pounds of tomatoes off this plant, and I didn't even plant it. Now there's tomatoes all through the garden. As we move over here, we see what else we've planted. This looks like a tomato, but it's not. This is a potato. Some say tomatoes, potatoes, potatoes. At any rate, this is a potato, and this cost me nothing. We went to the store, we bought some potatoes, but we forgot to use all of them. You know how potatoes sprout the little sprouts, little eyes come out in the potato? Well, I just cut that potato in quarters and I planted a piece of potato with the eye on it all over the garden, and it's growing into a new potato plant. And this will give me several pounds of potatoes. And I did this all over. I put them wherever there was any space. It might look like a weed, but that's a potato. Behind it is a zucchini. You can tell the zucchini squash because they have large leaves with deep indentations in the leaves here. You can put your whole hand in there. Zucchini grow fast and furious. Anybody can grow zucchini, even me. Total cost of all these zucchini plants, and I have perhaps 10 hills of 3 plants each. Total cost 69 cents plus tax for the seeds, and they come up in a hurry. The flowers are down deep here, and I already have a little zucchini, a little tiny one down here. And that's going to grow as big as I want it to. Here's another zucchini over on this plant. Now each one of these plants is going to give me many, many, many zucchinis all summer long. Total cost, a penny a piece, maybe less. Buy them in a store, you'll pay 30 cents a pound, maybe more. You might pay a couple of dollars for a peck of zucchini. You can grow them for a fraction of the cost. In addition to beans and tomatoes and zucchini and potatoes, we have some other things growing. You can grow broccoli without even buying plants. You can buy seed for 50 cents or less. Put the seed down early in the spring and you'll get a broccoli plant like this. Now, about midway through the season, the broccoli will start to put up a flower here, and when we eat broccoli, we're actually eating the flower. Broccoli is one of the cruciform vegetables, so called because of the cross-like shape in the flower. Included in this family are cabbage, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. Broccoli is very high in a variety of chemical compounds, perhaps 6 or 7 of them, that are known to fight cancer. So eating broccoli is more than just a good tasting thing, it's also good for your health. You eat more broccoli, your risk of cancer goes way down. And you can grow broccoli for practically nothing. In addition to the vegetables in our garden, we also have a few sunflowers that grow for the birds. We have some bachelor's buttons here, which I did not plant. They grew out of the compost pile. And some cosmos. Now, if you're wondering what a compost pile is, it's just all your kitchen garbage. You take your eggshells and your banana peels and anything else that you would normally put down a garbage disposal, any kind of vegetable waste, and you just pile it up and you turn it over every couple of weeks, throw in your grass clippings and leaves, turn it over every couple of weeks, and that breaks down and gives you good, fertile, rich soil. This garden has had compost put into it for 15 years. When we moved into this house brand new, it was nothing but clay and rock. There was no soil here at all. You take your pitchfork and go bang, and it would just bounce when it hit the soil. Now we've got 15 inches of good dirt, and with good dirt, you can grow good vegetables. When you have your pumpkins, throw them in your compost pile after Halloween. Here's a couple of pumpkin vines. They tend to wander all over the place. This one's going that way. This one here is coming out that way. These cost me nothing because they're growing from the seeds from last year's jack-o'-lanterns. Pumpkins will even grow right between the rows. This seems very crowded and busy, but we've got beans and rows, and between the rows we've got the squash. Do they get along together? They sure do. So if you have a garden, you're well on the way to better health at very, very low cost. And remember, the secret of good natural health is right here. Through natural healing, through naturopathy, better health consists of using vitamins instead of drugs, eating more fruits and vegetables, grains and sprouted grains. Occasionally, don't even bother to eat. Fasting is what the animals do when they get sick, and you can do it all yourself at low cost. This is Dr. Andrew Saul with a chance and an inspirational message, I hope, prompting you to have your own garden and grow your own food and live healthy naturally without spending much money at all.